Let's start with the question of what is a recession? What is a recession? A recession is a downturn in the economy that can last for months or even years, during which time GDP falls, unemployment rises, retail sales fall, and incomes and output shrink. Economists define recessions as periods of declining economic growth. In the United States, recessions typically begin in late summer or early autumn, and end in spring or summer. What causes a recession? There is more than one way for a recession to start, from a sudden economic crash to a fallout from runaway inflation. These events are some of the main causes of a recession. A sudden economic shock is a surprise issue that causes serious financial harm. In the 1970s, OPEC cut off the supply to the United States without notice, creating a recession, not to say endless lines at gas stations. The coronavirus outbreak, which closed down economies worldwide, is an additional example of a sudden economic crisis. Excessive debt, individuals or companies taking on too much debt, can cause the cost of servicing the loan to increase to the point where they cannot afford to pay their bills. Rising debt defaults and bankruptcies can then topple the economy. The housing market bubble in the mid-2000s that led to the Great Depression is a prime example of too much debt causing a recession. What type of recession are we dealing? I do believe we're facing too much inflation. When inflation rises too high, central banks raise interest rates to slow down the economy. Higher interest rates can cause a recession. In the United States, inflation rose during the 1970s, causing the federal government to raise interest rates. This led to a recession. How long does a recession last? The NBER tracks how long the average U.S. recession lasts. According to NBER statistics, from 1945 to 2009 the average recession lasted 11.1 months. That's better than earlier periods. From 1854 to 1929, the average recession lasted 22.4 months. Since 1980, the U.S. has had 4 recessions. Okay, but how will this affect me? During recessions, unemployment rates increase, and it becomes increasingly difficult to find new employment. Because of this, people who remain employed often experience cutbacks in wages and benefits. In addition, investments in stocks, bonds, and real estate can lose value during a recession, and retirees may not receive the income they expect. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe and don't forget to share with others.